Welcome back. You're watching Morning Prime and we're talking education matters. With me, Dr. Nicholas Letting, who's the CEO at KASNEB. And we're just having a discussion in terms of the revision of their syllabus, which a major review happens after every 5 years. They just concluded one last year in 2021. And for all the students who wish to pursue courses under KASNEB, I think this is a proper discussion that might give you a little bit of tidbits as you go into your academic journey. Thank you so much, Daktari. Let's continue with the conversation. And I just had a question that was fronted by part of our crew right during the break, and I think it's proper to ask because I've also experienced how rigorous your examinations are at KASNEB. Is this a way of ensuring quality within your ranks? Because I'm pretty sure even with the KCSE, we hear the CS Magoa saying this time round that the examinations will be student-friendly. Will we get to a point where KASNEB will do that?
Thank you so much. Just see, I think allow me to say this, that KASNEB examinations for a long time, from the time KASNEB was established 52 years ago, have been meant to produce very competent personnel. Why? We produce these people not only for the local market, but also for the global market. If you look at people working in banks today in Kenya and even abroad, you discover that most of them are Kenyans. You go to World Bank and the IMF, those world international bodies in finance, you will find so many Kenyans there. African Development Bank, I have so many friends there who are working there.
Who are
certified accountants, products of KASNEB, members of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya. Now, the issue why one of your friends has asked about why the brother has been doing the exam for many years, there are two things. One is because maybe they have not been able to go through the syllabus properly. Because the questions that we test are over 85% of the syllabus. Now, if that young man has been in the university, the courses in the university, unfortunately, they cover about 5 to 7 courses in a subject. Let's say it's a financial accounting paper. But in our course, for the same paper, we examine 17 topics, and we cover everything. We make sure that that is covered. So probably that young man has not been able to cover the entire syllabus. Sometimes, again, somebody, when they study by themselves, they do not have the benefit of being able to learn from other friends or other fellow students. So probably that student, I may not know their name, is I would advise him or her to go to class to an accredited institution of KASNEB, because that means then they can be taught how to go through that process. I'll give an example. I've been a student of KASNEB myself. Perhaps that's why I was identified as the CEO. In the 90s, when I was in the university doing my BCom, I was then able to do CPA. And I did a CPA for over 7 years. It was not easy. And combining the bachelor's degree and the CPA, it was not easy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Thereafter. But I can tell you, Jesse, I was not able to join a multinational corporation mainly actually because of the CPA rather than even the BCom degree that I was holding. And then. And so I want to encourage people in the university today, or even technical institutions, that they need to pursue. If you are in the technical institution and you do not qualify with a C+ so that you do a professional qualification, then you can pursue a certificate in accounting and management skills certificate. Or better still, you qualify with a C-, you qualify them to do as accounting technician's diploma. That becomes a precursor for you to do the professional qualification thereafter. Now, in terms of rigor, we do a benchmark globally. Indeed, every time we do the syllabus review, we benchmark locally and in Africa, in places like Nigeria, South Africa, and Egypt as well, because we try to have the regional look. In the last benchmarking that we did, we sent teams from senior management and board members to Canada to just see what happens in Canada. We send people to the United Kingdom. We send people to the US, to the United States of America. We send people to India. We send people to Japan, to Singapore and Malaysia, about 15 countries to see what is it that we want to produce. And one of the things I will be very glad to say in this meeting, in this interview, is that some of the things that we have introduced, and for example, the certified sector risk qualification, which is a governance related course, is what we have said we call boardroom dynamics. We expect a graduate of certified sector risk qualification to understand what happens in a boardroom before the meeting, and during the meeting, and after the meeting of our board. Because that's where decisions are made. So we have such things. We also introduce a course called Finance for Decision Making, especially for people who have done law. If you have qualified as a lawyer or you are pursuing a degree in law, You're also required to do a certified secretary qualification, then which allows you to become more of a governance expert, being able to guide with the consent of the board, so that you can then be able to guide the organization, the leadership of the organization, because you're dealing with leaders, people who make decisions in organizations. Decisions on investments and finance require somebody with certified investment and financial analysis, which again is available, offered by KASNEB. So the syllabus is available. We have done our benchmarking. The launching was done by the Principal Secretary for the National Treasury, Dr. Julius Muya, last year in July, and now we have launched it, and we have applied in the December sitting.
Okay.
Yes.
And how is the review so far? And as you answer that, are there any changes in terms of how you're examining the learners?
Yes, what we have done is that we have now changed. We are moving from paper-based examination to computer-based examination. What it means is, because we are alive to the fact that there is digital dynamics in digital learning, we expect our students to also do digital. For example, many years ago, we used to prepare what you call trial balances. You have to take the figures, look at the transactions, and prepare trial balance. Yeah. That can be done in a minute by a computer.
Yes.
We don't need that one. So what we have done is we expect our graduates or our students to prepare those ones using the computer, and then also query, find out what does it mean. You know, you have to find out what is it that these figures mean for the institution. Does it mean that we are growing? Does it mean that we are declining? Or does it mean that we are fluctuating? And what steps do we need to do? Okay. So that's a human intervention that we require. So computer-based examination is the way to do now. Now, in terms of some of the changes we have brought in as KASNEB, is that we have allowed the students to prepare and do the examination in 3 sittings. Then, like I said earlier on, those students are now free to undertake the examinations on a computer-based platform. Yeah. And so that they can be able to undertake it that way and be ready to work in any environment, whether it's computerized system, because there are people who want to work in small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs. There are those who will be working with the multinational corporations, those who will be working in family businesses. So we have topics and examinations for such businesses, so that then when you go to the field, you then are able to apply the knowledge, the general knowledge you have understood.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, Dr. That's well noted. As we finalize, and just briefly, perhaps, let's talk about policies and what has changed so far in that regard, and perhaps a message to the KASNEB followers out there.
First, allow me to say that we have created opportunities for people to undertake the examinations in 3 series. This year, we have examinations in April, on the 5th to 6th and 7th of April this year. Yeah. We'll have examinations mid-July. We would have done it in August, but because of elections that we are expecting, we'll do it in administered exams in July. Then we'll have another examinations in November. So there are sittings. Then we have also removed the sections that used to be there. That used to limit a student from able to do a paper in section 1 and section 2. Now you can do a paper anywhere within the particular level. Okay. So we have what we call foundation level, we have intermediate, and the advanced. We have moved from sections and parts now to the global benchmark, which is a product of the benchmark. So we have introduction, we have foundation stage, then we have the intermediate, and then we have the advanced level.
Correct.
Now we have also removed the maximum retention period for credit transfer. If you want to remove transfer credits from one level, if you are doing a degree in BCom finance, then you get credits for that. Or if you are moving from CPA 1 to something else, you require them to be able to do that again. The other thing we have done is to be able to stagger the exemption fees. So if you have been exempted from a certain paper you are doing, because you already have a similar qualification, or you have a degree, or a CPA, we also recognize people from other qualifications. Let's say somebody has come from the US, and there are many such people who have done certified public accountant of the U.S.
Oh, in the U.S.
In the U.S.
Okay. Yeah,
so they're required to just come and do two papers in Kenya.
All right.
Yes, they're required to do Kenyan taxation, so that they understand the taxation, as well as the company law of Kenya.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, well noted, Daktari. I think there's so much to talk about and so little time, but I'm sure there's so much information on your online platforms as well, in case someone is curious about some of the changes in terms of the syllabus. You can find them at kasneb.or.ke. Definitely. Dr. Nicholas Letting joining us right here, and I must say that's a pat on the back in terms of the changes in reviewing the syllabus after every 5 years. I hope